Hi students, this is Mrs. Marinelli for Business 268. We are working on lesson 7 today, which is division. So division is the opposite of multiplication. So looking on page 35, we have the dividend, which will be divided by the divisor. So again, we want to estimate first. These are all whole numbers, so our decimal will be set at 0. And looking at problem A, 168, I would round that to 170. And then the 12 is way too hard to divide into 170 in your head, so make it a 10. When you divide by 10, you move the decimal to the left one place. So 170 has a decimal after the 0, so move the decimal one place to the left and you're left with 17. If you divide by 100, you would move the decimal 2 places to the left. If you divide by 1,000, you would move the decimal 3 places to the left. So you want to make these problems easy to divide in your head. So when you're doing your rounding, make the dividend a multiple of the divisor. So round 1,794 to 2,000 and round the 39 to a 40. For every 0 in the dividend, you can get rid of a 0 in the divisor. So get rid of a 0 on the 2,000, you're left with 200. Get rid of a 0 on the 40, you're left with 4. 4 goes into 20 5 times, and there's a 0 left. So your estimate is 50. So your 5 finger is going to do the divisor, the dividing sign. So I'm going to make sure that my memory is clear, my problem is clear, and it's 1794 divided by, with the 8 finger, the 5 finger, divided by 39. Pinky does equals. So my answer is 46, which is really close to my estimate of 50. Okay, the next one, 35,777 divided by 365. So again, you want to make these multiples of numbers that you can do in your head. So I'm going to round the 35,770 to 36,000 and the 365 to 400. So for every 0 on the left, I can get rid of a 0 on the right. So I'm going to get rid of 2 zeros on each side. I'm left with 360 divided by 4. Okay, I know that 36 divided by 4 is 9, and there's 1 0 left. So my estimate is 90. And then I'm going to multiply, and my left hand is pointing at the numbers, 35770. Use the 5 finger for divide by 365, and that equals 98, and 98 is very close to my 90. So again, when you are doing your estimate, make sure that what you change the dividend to, make it a multiple of an easy number for the divisor so it's easy to divide in your head. So page 36, you're basically doing the same thing, only they're not giving you a column to estimate. Go ahead and make your own column. And then multiply this out. So there's really nothing new there. When you're doing part 25 through 30 on page 37, you are thinking of payroll. So if my annual salary is $32,875 and I get paid once a week, there's 52 weeks in a year. So the annual salary divided by the number of checks will give you your gross pay. Gross pay means the amount of money that you're going to get before anything is taken out, before money goes into your IRA, before money goes into taxes, Social Security, if you have money going into pay your car loan, it's before anything is taken out. So what do I get paid? I get paid 10 times a year, so I would take my annual salary, divide by 10 to come up with my gross pay. Page 38. And that was money, so your decimal is set at 2 and you need dollar signs. Page 38, more of the same. I want you to practice, change the directions a little bit. So it's the dividend divided by the divisor. And for the first column, set your decimal at 4. And then practice rounding in your head to 3. So I want you to practice rounding more. So don't change the machine. I want you to practice this rounding. So that means you need 3 places past the decimal, even if it's a 0. So decimal set at 4, round in your head to get to decimal set at 3. So you're doing a lot of practice here. You're practicing estimating, doing the answer on the calculator, and then rounding again. More practice on rounding. So you might want to add another column here for your estimate. Page 39, it says 5 decimal place answers. We're changing that to 4. And again, it says round to 4 places in the last column. Just round that to 3 instead. So more of the same. Again, if the answer is 0 in the 4th column or the 3rd column, you need to put that 0. Okay, so that's it. That should be nice and easy. Practice test, which is on page 42, is practicing straight numbers, not really problems, practicing subtotals on this first section. This is money. Look at the top. So the total needs dollar signs. Set your decimal at 2 for those. Page 41, you're practicing cross-footing, which was from chapter 2, I believe. Page 44, you're practicing rounding and estimating. 45, practicing multiplication and division. And also your place value, which was chapter 5. If it's money, make sure you put a dollar sign. Make sure money has 2 places past the decimal. And that's it for lesson 7. And so lessons 2 through 7 will be on your first exam. Practice. Nobody should miss rounding. That should be the easiest part. You don't use the machine for rounding. And if you practice these enough, you should easily be able to take test 1. Have a great day.